Pressure is on Chicago to take advantage of all of the open jump shots and the fast breaks. You must score the easy baskets tonight.
Marley and Pete Myers nose to nose down on the baseline. Pete Myers, a very tough defensive player, and Marley is Hulk himself.
Well, Pete Myers, think about it. He played in Europe for the last 2 years. He had a hernia operation this summer. As he was recuperating, he started to work out with the Bulls on a lark before he went back to Europe. Next thing you know, he finds himself starting for the Chicago Bulls
and replacing Michael Jordan
on Pippen rather than Barkley on Grant.
Boy, AC Green really leveled Pete Myers.
Now the reason why that might have happened was the play before at that end of the floor when AC Green went up for a rebound. He was leveled by King, and when he went down on the floor, you could see he was really hot. So a lot of times a player, when he gets a chance to lay it on somebody, now keep an eye right on AC. He hit him right with a forearm, and he caught Pete Myers right below the neck. You could see him holding on right there. He caught him with a forearm.
And that's called an elbow foul, by the way.
Elbow.
It's 2 shots for it.
Now remember, if you get hit in the NBA with an elbow, a flying elbow in the head, you are automatically thrown out of the game. Intensity effort that we're seeing here right now. It's also the embarrassment, the total embarrassment that they're getting nailed. Now there's another step where the guard with the basketball. Now B.J. Armstrong definitely has turned his ankle. All right. See B.J. Armstrong right now. You see he's explaining to the referee that he twisted his ankle. He was dribbling the basketball. He stepped, and there was foot contact and caused a turn right here.
Now Frankie Johnson and Pippen talking to each other. This all got out of control during that plethora of technical fouls that were called. Going to be Bulls ball on the side.
No player is going to back down right now on either side of the floor. You're going to see it right now. That was a body contact. B.J. Armstrong wanted the foul. The foul was called. Okay, B.J. did not think the foul was called. He just saw them fast breaking.
They really got a taste of what it's like to be in the finals last year, and all he wants is to get back there. Pierce. Oh, that's a hard foul, and that'd probably be a flagrant foul on Mark West. There's going to be some talking about that. That was a very hard foul by Mark West.
Well, things will get heated up now. Mark West just increased the intensity of this game by about 50% because he gives a hard foul on Ricky Pierce going to the line. It'll be 2 shots in the ball.
It is a flagrant foul, Doug.
And I think that was a good call. Mark West went for the shot block a little bit too vociferously here. Watch him swing down with his arm. Went right in his face with his arm, and you've got to call that, especially in this kind of game. Now the crowd is into it.
That's a wake-up call.
Look to see what happens now in the next few minutes of this game.
Danny Crawford did not hesitate to call that.
I think it was an excellent call.
Now Joe Klein talking to Mark West, telling him just to settle down, looking at it again.
Watch his face now. Watch his right arm and watch the face. Right there he goes right into his face and comes down hard. You've got to make that call.
Preventive maintenance.
If you don't make that call, then you're in for a long night when both of these teams now start going to the basket.
We're going to keep an eye on it because 9:54 that happened in the second. Let's see if it picks up.
Against Ricky Pierce, a little shot there, pushes him away. Now he gets drilled by Robertson, throws him out of the way. Now he tries to fight and go over and go through the double. You see Anderson moved and put his arm up to set a screen. Nothing really all that bad about Anderson. That's why he's upset. And of course, this was the resulting technical as he went over and had a few words choice, I'm sure, to say to Bill Oakes. Oh my, he said to...
Tell you what, Patrick Ewing didn't want this game slipping away. He's all over Anthony. He's all over Starks. The guy could play for the Houston Oilers. 92-92. And it's Starks.
For Williams. Starks for Ewing. Rebounded by Oakley.
John had the shot, but he deferred to Ewing.
Mason. Oakley is fouled. He was walloped by O'Neal. Oakley has some words with Shaquille.
Until Charles realized what happened was good for him. Good ball movement now. Not bad for Mason, and then Oakley gets rocked by Shaquille. I mean, if you're going to foul a big guy, that's the way to do it, baby. Make him feel it and deny him the shot. No intent to hurt. Those two guys couldn't hurt each other.
That first meeting between the Knicks and Orlando, Charles Oakley was ejected early, picking up a technical foul after having some words with Shaquille, who just picked up number 5. Greg Kite replacing him, and Charles Oakley to the line. Charles is now 1 out of 2.
Number 3-point shot by Scott. Good. Kareem is hurt. Kareem got hit in the face accidentally, I am assuming, by the elbow of Sampson. Kareem is still on the floor. The trainer runs out there. Really, he's supposed to get permission to do it. Now here is a whistle, and what do we got? A jam try, and a foul is on Green, and they'll go back to the line and shoot free throws, and Kareem is up.
And Kareem is angry.
Well, be careful now, folks. I didn't see what happened, to tell you the truth. Let's see if we can find out on the leg of our television that we have.
Well, Byron made an excellent three-point attempt, and on the rebound, trying for the rebound, Sampson obviously hit Kareem in the mouth.
You never saw the contact. I don't know that. Obviously, I guess is right, but you never saw it. Or I didn't. Did you?
No, I didn't.
All right. Anyway, it was accidental. Sampson makes the first one. That makes the score 48-38. Scotty got his three-pointer. Mullen, by the way, has got 18 points. The reason I didn't know that Sampson hit him, here's a long pass intended for Green, but it goes all the way to the front court where Worthy gets it, luckily for the Lakers. Sampson never even turned around as though he knew he hit anybody. Ball to Scott. Scott away from Garland. 17-footer and away, no. The rebound is off. Fought for him. Manute Bol has got it. Playing pretty darn well. Now to Garland. Garland front court. Otis Smith, three-point shot. No good. Now Sampson. Sampson got it from Kareem. Kareem nailed him. Kareem got him with an elbow. And now Sampson's pointing to Kareem. They might have a fight right here.
Well, you knew it was coming because when Kareem got up, he was extremely angry, and he never said a word. He just walked down to the other end, and I guess in his mind he said, "I'll get you soon." Don
Nelson is telling his gladiator, just take it easy. Just take it easy. Ralph got hit by Kareem. It's the 5th team foul. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the foul department now has a total of 2. Now let's see if we can see this elbow.
Yeah, you saw that one. He hit him with the right elbow, right in the throat.
I would imagine that Commissioner David Stern is looking in tonight down in Los Angeles. He's going to be with us for the presentation tomorrow night. And if you're going to be there, be in your seat by 7:15 or you're going to miss it. Technical foul on Riley. Now Riley is down at midcourt arguing with young Ron Gerritsen, and he was nailed with a tee. I think probably not because of what he said.
Heaney, my hairstylist, said today at breakfast, he said, Scott's going to get 25 tonight.
All right, here's the ball down the floor. Goes to AC. Comes underneath. The shot is blocked by Sampson. And they call a foul on Sampson. And Sampson is seething. And from what I saw, I don't blame him. Let's find out.
He got very aggressive on the offensive end. And then on this defensive play, he came through and made a pretty good block.
But he hit him with the body.
Green, but Jay up top. Gets by his man Garland. And Ralph throws him to the floor. And a foul there.
Easy, Ralph.
Kevin shaken up. Ralph said, I will not argue that call.
No, I think that, but I don't think, I really don't think there's a place for that, really. I mean, the man is 7'4", it really wasn't necessary. You can see the play again. Kevin Johnson drives.
Gets by Ralph. He goes up, then puts the lock on him, and down goes Kevin.
Well, unless he was
trying to keep hurting him, and maybe who knows. Doesn't look like it. He just wrapped him up. Yeah. Kevin's all right. They look at Sampson. Boy, Chambers and Sampson really going at one another. Shot from the right side, missed by Richmond. Rebound. Pulled away by Eddie Johnson. Well, I mean, they are bumping bodies inside.
And Chambers is he's protecting this player, but there's going to be something going on here.
There's Corbin and Sampson. They got to separate them. Hugh Holland steps in.
See what happens a lot of times in the play. Chambers is protecting Kevin Johnson, against Sampson.
Oh, right there, Ralph popped him one. Then Corbin steps over and they separate him.
They called a foul on Sampson?
Yep, his fourth.
Oh, that was that was not a play on him. It was started down the other end of the court.
They always miss the first, but that's the way it seems. That's. There you go, Grillo.
Right back out of the game.
Stockton finds the mailman who is mugged by Olden Polynice.
And they'll give him 2. A little bit excessive, a little bit fragrant that time, Olden Polynice. So the Clippers will get the ball back out of bounds after the 2 free throws. Danny Manning running the fast break right here, keeping the pressure on the Jazz.
Second personal for Polynice.
I like the way Karl Malone is not allowing this physical play to get to his head. One thing about Malone is if you bump him, if you force him to struggle every time he catches the ball, you normally see him lose it a little bit. He's remained calm here, though, in this game.
He did take a little walk, though, before going up to the foul line, just to recollect his thoughts after the flagrant foul by Polynice.
Whatever it takes.
Manning sits down now as Charles Smith checks back into the lineup for the Clippers.
See, the thing about Polynice, he's not going to get a whole lot of minutes if things hold true to form since Larry Brown came to this team. So he must make his presence felt when he's in there. The way to do that is continue to be aggressive defensively, continue to bump Karl Malone.
Getting to approach his numbers from game 1 in this series. Jeff Malone finds his favorite shot. Wouldn't go from the rebound, banged off the head of Doc Rivers out of bounds. A foul is going to be called on Karl Malone. He is furious.
And I think he should pick up the technical. And that's the first time Karl Malone has reacted in this game. It's been physical. He has done a good job of keeping his cool, but he definitely gets out of control right there, and he goes all the way back in the tunnel here to prevent picking up another technical foul.
Well, it'll be Doc Rivers shooting the tee. See if he can end this string of 4 free throw shot attempts. He can. The Clippers continue to struggle from the line, and now 8 of 17 from the line. And that wasn't the first time, by the way, that Doc Rivers got hit in the head by a basketball tonight.
Watch Edwards and Malone get tangled up down there. Now, Malone is saying Edwards pulled him down. The replay right there shows that he might be right. Might have reason to react as he did. Edwards, though, makes the free throw.
Well, the teams were warming up tonight. A guy from one of the local TV stations wanted to help out John Story.
Kareem and Isaiah and Magic. McHale knocked it out of Ruin's hand. Jeff got it back. He missed. Jeff Malone the rebound. The shot. He hits. I liked him at Mississippi State. He was a tough competitor. And Mahorn and McHale are having words right now. Rick Mahorn and Kevin McHale really started to have at one another. Oh, there is Rick Mahorn. 6'8". Don't let anybody say he's 6'10". He's 6'8", and he tips it at about 250. He told us today, he said, I'm not 6'10". I'm playing against all those giants. Malone, and in. And that's it. The Boston Celtics, and there's a tussle on the floor. Oh, and Buckner just got decked. Henderson and Frankie Johnson are going at it. Henderson and Frankie Johnson are going at it. Really uncalled for, Roger. The game is over. Absolutely. Oh, now we've got Sobers and Dennis Johnson. And we were afraid of this. We talked about this before, that if this game got a little bit out of hand at the end as far as the score, that we could get some physical action. Very important that they keep the fans off the court, and they're doing a good job of that. And separating the player. Players should get in the locker room. Get the guys in the locker room. Oh, you got to be concerned about a couple of people who jumped in. Quinn Buckner really hit the deck. And Ricky Mahorn now with his arm around Frankie Johnson, taking him away. Watch the left-hand side of the screen here now as the two teams are finally separated, and we'll see Frankie Johnson and Gerald Henderson start to wail on one another. Now the frustrations, Dick, of a long season on behalf of Frankie Johnson.
More often than not, he'd be guarded by the opposing center with a forward taking Robert Parrish. The slender McHale certainly couldn't out-muscle most foes, but he could almost always out-finesse them. And he could always out-talk them. McHale, a social animal if ever there was one, chattered nonstop to the ball boys, the scorekeepers, weary teammates anxious for a nap on chartered flights. And on the court, he trash-talked with the best of them. He was fond of informing his frustrated adversaries that he had them in his torture chamber as he countered their every adjustment with a new wrinkle of his own. McHale was often threatened by opponents bent on intimidation. His response was to go to yet another part of his repertoire, and after hitting another basket, he'd smile smugly and announce, "Scoreboard, baby." While McHale's outgoing, sometimes quirky personality seemed to contrast with Larry Bird's often grim determination, make no mistake, McHale, generally in high spirits in the hours surrounding a game, was a ferocious competitor from tip-off to final buzzer. It was McHale, remember, who clobbered Kurt Rambis and thus changed the tone of the 1984 finals. The Celtics had seemed certain to lose, but somehow they stole it from the Lakers. It was McHale who gritted his way through the 1987 playoffs with a broken foot. The Celtics lost in 6 to a truly great Lakers team, and yet there are those in New England who still insist they'd have won it if McHale had been 100%. In truth, he was never 100% again, though he played, often brilliantly, for 6 more seasons. Finally, he concluded,
so many memories here, and all those memories were made so much better by all of you people. And I can't thank you enough for making me feel like a Bostonian for 13 years and giving me all the support. And I tell you what, you made it easy to come on this court and play. I played hurt a lot, but I came out here, I looked in the stands like I did today, and it was all worth it. Thank you very much.
Best job on you one-on-one.
I've said many times Kevin McHale is by far and away the best player I ever played against personally. And he was unstoppable offensively, but he gave guys so much problems defensively. He could guard the small forward, he could guard the power forward, he could guard the center. But he's by far and away the best player I've ever played against personally.
And he was one of the last ones to play you head up. You've just seen so many double teams over the last 6, 7 years. If you were the other team, would you double team Charles Barkley?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think one guy can stop me, Matt. You know that.
And a very good job on Sean Kemp here in this ballgame. 28 in the first half. Here we go. We're getting into it now. That's not a smart play. No, Kemp is down. Bodies all over the place. George Karl running out on the court. So now people are going to get thrown out of the game. I mean, that's... And Dana Barros just got fined $500 for running out on the court. He is the only Sonic to leave the bench. Of Golden State's players, Don Nelson and Tom Abdenauer, the assistant coach and the trainer for Golden State, held everybody back. See, now if Sean Kemp is thrown out of the game and Lister is thrown out of the game, then Golden State gets the best end of that deal. Exactly right. And that's where in the playoffs, young, you get excited, you've got to walk away from that. Alvin Lister and Sean Kemp. So we got a double technical. We have a flagrant foul going to be called, a personal flagrant foul on Alton Lister. Then we have a double technical on Lister and Sean Kemp. Kemp is going to the basket, and here comes Lister and Hardaway both got him, and here's the reaction. He pushes him. Well, Lister got a little swing in there. And look like, who was that? Timmy Hardaway pulled him down from behind. Well, there was more wrestling than punching, and very fortunate. You don't want anybody to be throwing punches. That's why the rule was put in, because these guys can do terrific damage with, as strong and as powerful as they are. Someone gets punched.
Pavetta owes him one. Oh, what a battle going on with Malone and McHale.
tell you, Jim Edmonds, if you've got any of that, show it to us.
Well, Bird right on the ball, but they said they hit Barkley right on the side of the head. Forces him to go to the baseline, positions him up underneath the basket.
Malone, though.
Yeah, look at that body slamming over behind the play.
And now ML Carr and Malone do a little pushing. Malone throws a shot at him. Now Cunningham and Carr go at it. And Larry Bird still wants a piece of Jay. My goodness.
And this all with one referee. That's tough, baby. This is a heated ball game, and it's in stages of a blowout. Tempers are bound to flare in an important ball game like this, and
Bird still wants a piece of Jay.
The second round series against New York was a bitter war, with the underdog Knicks battling.
Anderson getting his chance. What a move Bird put on Marcus Johnson.
And I think that Bird got hit with an elbow on that play.
He got hit against San Diego Friday in the eye, and he is hit again.
Oh, he got hit with an elbow on the when he took a move there, and when he goes to the hoop, and watch Catchings there with the elbow.
Bird's called for the foul.
When he wakes up.
See Bird and Catchings again.
Right. And see, when he missed the shot, he went over Catchings' back. And there's the elbow. That's where he got it, right there. And he doesn't know where he is right now, I can tell you that.
Catchings swung around with that left elbow and really
caught him flat.
You know, the San Diego victory for the Celtics Friday was a relatively easy victory, but it was a tough physical ball game because San Diego played it rough, and Larry Bird was on the receiving end a couple of times. He was hit in the eye.
He gives and takes.
Oh, he gave in that game too. He gave in that game too. And
now it's going to take a while to before he'll be all right.
Want to ride you coming up at the time as Larry gets up. Brent Musburger will have scores and highlights, and our rebound feature is former Celtic great Sam Jones on that Marquette Louisville game. Well, with so little time remaining, with 41 seconds, Bird is going to try and get it together and get the cobwebs out in the dressing room as he gets a hand. He scored just 5 points. He goes into the dressing room with 5 points with a superb steal, and we may be seeing that man, Larry Bird, who could play a big role before it's all over. And that is the end of the third period with the score. Bird.
And you have a lot of shots going up from the perimeter.
Chris Mills got it off the glass, and he's coming to the foul line.
You got Oakley and Pippen underneath going at it. Those two were teammates. Oakley gave Pippen a shot. Wants to try to knock him off his game right now. They know if they be physical with Chicago, get him in a type of pushing and shoving match, that gets Chicago out of the game. Now watch Oakley. Pippen's trying to block him out, takes him underneath. Oakley locks him and then gives him a shot in the chest. Pippen said, come on, please.
The personal foul was on Rodman, his second. A double technical has been called on Oakley and Pippen. No shots for that. And Mills will now shoot the personal foul, trying to complete the three-point play as we check in with Ahmad.
You know, Bob, it just goes to show you how hotly contested this ball game is. Scottie Pippen and Charles Oakley are two of the best friends off the court, and they get into something like this. It just shows you that these guys, once you get on the court, hey, it's all about competing. Bob?
29 points and a half at home against Detroit. Rod Strickland had garbage thrown on him. Merciless boos at the halftime break. Now they come into the Garden, and they have 59 points. With 13 seconds to go.
It misses. Rockets are going to have to be patient if they want to stay with the quicker Sonics. Here is Perkins inside foul as Ori lands on it.
What a veteran play by Sam Perkins. Catches the ball, doesn't worry about getting it up quickly and getting it blocked. He's going to take the hit, go to the free throw line. Watch carefully. Great pass by Detlef Schrempf. Keeps the ball, fakes it, makes sure he gets fouled. He's got 2 free ones.
Well, you remember Perkins at North Carolina with James Worthy, Michael Jordan. They have all tasted championships.
Perkins, of course, been with the Lakers, earlier with the Dallas Mavericks. Very steady guy, always has that sort of a sleepy look, but he doesn't play sleepy, does he?
What a great touch for a big guy, a premier three-point shooter, but we've watched him on the box, can score on the box, particularly with mismatches, got great patience and a lot of veteran savvy.
Finals, knocks them both down, and Seattle gets a 2-point advantage.
So now you got Kendall Gill playing Oliver Miller where they take advantage of that mismatch.
There's the double team. Perkins. Barkley goes right around it. Phoenix throws the ball away.
Charles is going to get a technical. You watch a foul or something. Watch this. I saw this coming a mile away.
Yep, and Kendall Gill just glares at Charles Barkley. Gill still looking at Barkley.
That was a foul. It was either a foul or a technical coming from Barkley when he lost the ball.
Now Barkley walks by the officials and says something and heads down to Danny Crawford to talk to him.
He might end up getting both, a foul and a technical.
Well, Kendall Gill showed a lot of restraint because he just glared at Charles, didn't say anything to him.
Well, he just rips him across the right arm, and Kendall Gill goes down. And this is the importance of being in the penalty because now you get to the free throw line. So when someone wastes a foul like that, you at least have an opportunity to score 2 points.
Your seat, because it's going to be a Magic show.
I love Magic. I love him dearly. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for him. But we're both competitors. We both want to win, and he'd do anything to win, and I would too. But off the court, we're fine. But it's war now.
After the next 24 minutes of play to start celebrating, the celebrating has been going since last night in the Motor City of Detroit. Take a look. How excited was the crowd? This kind of celebration normally reserved for a football victory. Folks, this is a basketball game in the Silverdome. And one of the other Laker fans knew that Game 7 would require more than just a good meal.
It takes determination, and they're determined to win this. They want to win it twice in a row.
Let me tell you something about the Lakers. They can play ball.
Foul Willis over the top. Well, and no technical foul. Wow. Whoa. A man just slammed the ball, and it almost went up to the rafters. That's awful. That is awful. And Mike Fratello wants to get Willis out of the game before he loses his cool completely.
He wants play to start again before Madden changes his mind, too.
Wow.
Offensive rebound with it. And get the putback.
Rebounding with this small unit in there. Let's take a look. Topley's doing everything he can as the shot goes up. And it's missed by Aguirre, but now you watch Topley just come in there, put his big body right by Worthy and then smack Worthy across the goggles.
But you know, that time it might have been the goggle that did the damage. He brought the hand down against the goggle.
70s and a nice article in the Boston Globe. Oh, Bird got hit in the head, and Gilliam is able to connect. Larry Bird shaken up. It's a story relating the tales of Andrew Toney, a man who over the years has killed the Celtics, particularly here in Boston.
Larry Bird, who, while trying to defend right there, Gilliam with the little jump move, his left arm, as he's kind of trying to protect, swinging away, catches Bird across the face. Larry reaching in for the swipe with his left hand, brings him a little bit closer. There's that left elbow, catching Bird.
Bird will hang in, though. And here's it from the crowd.
Well, Greg, we've been talking all day about the Orlando Magic having a chance to break the Boston Celtics record for regular season consecutive victories at home. But you may not know the common denominator between those two teams. They both play on parquet floors. The Celtics' fabled floor, of course, built during World War II because there was a shortage of long planks of wood, so we had to build it in the parquet fashion. And then when the arena started construction 8 years ago, the Magic, in order to emulate the Celtics' success, decided to build a similar parquet floor. In fact, they won their first ever playoff game on a parquet floor in Boston last year. But the big difference between the two floors, this one doesn't have any dead spots that always used to make the ball bounce the Celtics' way, as Bill can attest to.
Bill used to call them grateful dead spots.
There were no dead spots on that beautiful temple floor there. A religious shrine, the Boston Garden.